Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and I am bringing you a set from the match between MBC Game Hero and Woongjin Stars. This is actually going to be a game that is highlighted as the face-off of the week for ST2GG.com. This is, for the Stars, this is Zero, the Zerg player, and for MBC Game we've got Light, a pretty quality Terran player who, even though he doesn't always do well in Star Leagues, he's kind of like a baby C, a mini C. He's always a very good player in the Pro League, and he can come up with some very good plays, some very good wins. But for whatever reason, when it comes to the pressure, the intensity of the OSL and the MSL, he kind of fails miserably, which is very similar to what we see from C year in and year out, which is unfortunate when you see a guy play pretty well and then sort of just flounder off the map in just pressure situations. It's pretty disappointing, because you know the potential is there, but it's just not gonna come through. But it is kind of entertaining for this game that we're going to be representing for Light. On the side of Light, we've got Backo, one of the writers, and on the other side representing Zero, and whose camp I am in, is Psionic Reaver. So this is just the first week of what should be, every week there should be a game that's going to be represented. So this should be a lot of fun week in and week out. Backo, the Ho, representing Light, coming up with a lot of stuff like 58% win rate, and the fact that Light is just tearing up Pro League, winning on Battle Royale, on and on. He's done some pretty good things when it comes to Pro League. But you know what? Sonic Reaver counters pretty well. You know, he's talking about how Zero's really won 7 of his last 9 ZVTs, including a win against Firebet here, which is pretty impressive. A couple wins against Sky High, which are pretty solid, and you got to think that that Zero certainly has shown his worth in the ZVT matchup. Although one thing is that he did lose his last ZVT on this map, Tornado, against Lita's 14cc. But we're not going to be seeing a 14cc from Light. We're going to be seeing a 1-Rax, and as he sees this 12 hatch, he's probably going to be 1-Rax right into an expansion. And Light can easily work his way up that ramp if he chooses to, but he's kind of not forced. There he goes. Finally, he's forcing the issue here, and Zero brings off another drone. So just a couple seconds hesitation, and oh wow, good job by Light, able to sneak that SCV in. I was about to say that if he didn't work that way up the ramp as that replacement drone came in, that could have been pretty bad for him, just because he waited that extra second or two, allowing that second drone to come over and take some extra shots on that SCV. But it turns out it didn't end up mattering at all. And here we see Light with the Marine Producer is gonna usher away this Overlord. This actually is kind of important on this map. I remember watching Boxer and Killer on here. I think they were in the same start spots too. Killer used his Overlord in the same position. He would float it away to the bottom right, like he's going right now, and then he would just float it back. He floated it back in, I think, twice. Noticed starports and rates. Noticed, got a lot of scouting and technical information. So it's a good thing that Light is ushering away this Overlord now, and hopefully he keeps an eye out for it in the future and takes it down any chance he gets. We're seeing 1-Rax into expansion from Light, and then we're seeing 3-hatch 2-base play from Zero, which is exactly what he did earlier against Lita. I think this has a little bit better chance of being a little bit more effective against Light, not only because it's Light, but also because Light did go for that 1-Rax into Expo, so it's not quite as economic a build. So Light's not going to have as strong of an economy, probably not going to have as many Marines, as many turrets up as he did in that last game. And Light actually sending a couple Marines out kind of on their own. I don't know about that. If a few Zerglings are produced and are just sent over to harass just a little bit at Light's base, they're going to run into those Marines, and they can do a lot of damage. They can that's just a waste of 2 Marines. They probably won't even kill a Zergling if Zero actually just wanders over towards Light's base. They're getting reinforced here by a couple more Marines, but you really don't want Marines out in the open like this. It's kind of interesting to me that Light is even bothering to have them out there. It doesn't seem to be a very strategical advantage for him at all. We also see a factory going down for Light as well, and we should be seeing a layer. It should be completing and probably throwing up a Spire relatively soon for Zero for this probable Mutilus build, and something going down there right next to that hatchery. Maybe that's a Spire at the middle hatchery there. Academy also going down, so he knows that he needs to get some scans up, needs to watch out for some probably not Lurker. 3-hatch Lurkers is not done. It's gonna have a 3-hatch Muta into Lurker, and he knows that he's gonna want some scans, gonna want to know if there's when the transition to lurkers comes. And actually, no, that was a Hydra's Den. Oops, that was a Hydra's Den, not a Spire. So this is going to be 3 hatch lurk. So it's much better than 2 hatch lurker, that's for sure. 2 hatch lurkers is just a crap build in my opinion. It's just, it depends completely and utterly on containing your opponent's scouting, and if you are unable to scout correctly, to stop the scout perfectly, you are just in a world of hurt here. And we see Zero has produced a lot of Zerglings here outside of Light's base, and actually picking off a couple SCVs there. Light not doing a very good job of reacting there. Should have been able to micro those SCVs and at least move them from the left hand mineral patches over to the right one, just kept them alive a little bit longer. See a starport going down and an engineering bay as well. And these Zerglings are going to pop in here again and pick off another SCV, 1 more SCV, 2 more SCVs, and Light just not microing these SCVs at all. I really think he could save them. Not necessarily kill the Zerglings, because I don't know if he really has the marine numbers without actually spending a lot of time on his micro, but he could easily just rotate those SCVs out from the left mineral patches to the right mineral patches, send them home if he needs to, and just keeps 3 or 4 more SCVs alive. And Zero coming with a ton of Zerglings, trying to get a surround on these Marines, struggling to do so. Might actually be able to take down the Marines. The Marines are going to go down, but Zero does not have a lot of Zerglings left, and he's not going to be able to force the issue here. Light pulling off a lot of SCVs, and they're more than enough to defend there, and Light taking an advantage in this game right away after that, winning this first engagement here. Zero losing a lot of Zerglings. However, he is morphing some lurkers, so I almost wonder if he went in there with those Zerglings just to clear up some psi room for these lurkers. That would be pretty funny if that's what actually happened, but yeah, that was not very effective. He really, if he didn't need the psi space or something, he probably should have just waited for his lurkers and come in with more of a mixed force, stronger force, and he would have probably been able to pick off some of those SCVs, maybe even taking down that bunker. But now here come the lurkers and the Zerglings together, and I don't believe that there are any comsat stations up quite yet. Oh wait, no, yeah, the comsat stations are up, but they don't really have. But he doesn't really have the marine numbers. Doesn't have any tanks out quite yet, so he's gonna have trouble taking down these lurkers as it stands right now. A 3rd lurker coming in, and I think there might have been a 4th one morphing as well. And they're gonna be able to take down this bunker and do a significant amount of damage here at the natural expansion, as Light is no longer mining at the natural expansion, so he's only mining off of 1 base right now. We also see Zero taking this time to take the base at the 6 o'clock. That would be the natural expansion of the bottom left-hand main. So he's definitely going to go to a 3rd base here, and Light's really going to need to find a way out of his base, going to need to get some scans up. He's finally got a tank out, and he's got a couple vultures going for a run by. 1 vulture goes down, 2 vultures survive. So those 2 vultures can do a lot of damage to a Zerg player if they're not prepared. I haven't seen Zerg's base in a while, so I don't know if he has any sunken colonies up. No. Nor does he have any Hydras really produced at his main either. He's throwing up a Spire in an evolution chamber, and he has got some Zerglings here, but he's really going to need a few Hydralists. Going to also need possibly a sunken colony at the 6 o'clock position as soon as that hatchet comes up. Possibly a sunken colony even here at the main, just to make things a little bit easier for him. It looks like that's what he's going to do. Throw down a sunken colony and just play a little and have that static defense that's quite effective against vultures. And we see that command center inside of Light's main producing a comsat station. That's kind of odd. Don't really see that too often. And a science facility going up as well. 2 more racks, 3 more racks is going down. And the vultures at the 6 o'clock position have found that hatchet. They're not going to be able to take it down really, but there are a lot of Zerglings moving into here. And let's see how Light's micro is. And Light is not choosing to micro very much here, and he's going to lose both vultures a little bit carelessly here. And I gotta say, I'm not really impressed so far with Light's micro so far. He still certainly has an opportunity with his bio forces once he starts pushing out to impress me a little bit more. But right now, I don't think it's quite impressive here. His SCV micro hasn't been all that great, except for when he blocked the one time, and nor has his vulture micro been anything too special. Maybe just not paying attention there at the 6 o'clock, but he definitely lost a lot of vultures when he could have easily just moved up the ramp and played games with those Zerglings until some Hydros respawn or a sunken colony was produced. So maybe just some little mistakes coming in for him here and there. You see a Queen's Nest going down as well, so we're going to get to a hive relatively quickly here. 10 minutes into the game. That's pretty early for a hive, but he does have an economic advantage right now. He is at 3 base. Terran is at 2 base. And first science vessels produced. Scourge are in the area, so he needs to be very careful, Light does, with that science vessel. If that science vessel goes down, that is just going to put him in such a bad spot, working off of pretty much 1 base right now. 1 base tech is pretty much what this build is, unfortunately. It's been reduced to that due to this lurker contain. Until he can really push out here. It looks like he's going to be able to push out here. The lurkers rising out of the ground and are going to retreat here. And a cool play there by a little bit by Zero. I don't know if it was purposeful or what, but it looked like his Zerglings kind of moved a little bit farther to the east and took a shot from that tank instead of going down the lurkers. I don't know if the lurkers were highly damaged or not, but they might have gotten down. They might have taken an extra hit. There's just something that you'd rather protect your lurkers.